pretty nice.
Oh my gosh, I can't even get a
I've been
picture
up there
of
before. We had
America, you done?
Fine, humble.
5 of us at 150 or so. 100.
Good.
I call them Marathon Mondays.
Oh, okay.
Or this is what they're
And
called.
they were big.
He told me he was gonna drop that off.
I've never really ice fished. Patrol chief.
Will you please share that with the park board, Troy? Thanks. Oh. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, put your name, yeah, good.
Don't want anybody to forget who we are.
No. Okay. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It is Monday, January 8th, 2018. It's 5:30 PM, and we are in the City Hall Council chambers. And roll call, please, Libby.
Cyphers.
Present.
Hawkins.
Present.
Hassick.
Here.
Peters.
Here.
Zarling.
Here.
It's been determined that we have a quorum, and we'll now do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is to approve tonight's agenda, and I'd like to have an addition of 15.7 board and commission appointments. And that should be, you should have it emailed, and it should be at your seat. And so with that, is there please a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the addition of 15.7?
So moved.
Second.
Motion offered by Peters and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. Next item is the reading of the minutes from our last meeting, which was December 11th, 2017, and the minutes were in your packet. Is there please a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved. Second.
Motion offered by Hassick and second by Zarling. Is there any further discussion on this motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. 9.1, public hearing for the sale of 1228 North Elm Street. And at this time, I'd like to open the public hearing. And Mike.
The city, when it sells property, is required to sell it by ordinance, and that's what we're asking the council to do tonight, to approve an ordinance to sell property at 1218 North Elm. This was a property where we tore down a blighted house. The property owner next to it has a fourplex, and with this, they could at some point add some garages to this as part of their plan. Cost us $1,800 to mow it last year, so there is an ongoing cost for us, and they've offered us $1,000, and often we've sold these properties to get them back on the tax rolls.
Okay.
I believe it's 1228 though, Mike.
Is it
Is it
1228 or
1228?
That's what
1218?
it says here.
It is 1228. I
It
meant-
is, okay.
No, this is
1218.
1218.
Do you know,
On
Libby?
Beacon says 1218.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going with 1218.
Yes.
North Elm Street. And being this is a public hearing, and there is no one here to address the council, is there please a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion offered by Hawkins.
Second.
Second by Cyphers. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. And now is there a motion to approve ordinance number 2017-09, the sale of 1218 North Elm Street for the sum of $1,000 to Joseph and Christina Tate?
So moved.
Second.
Motion offered by Peters and second by Hawkins. And roll call, Libby.
Cyphers.
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
Hassick.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Zarling.
Yes.
The resolution passed. 15.1, reading of resolution before voting. Mike.
The charter allows the council to set its own rules. One of the rules is that we read all wording of our resolutions before they're voted on. In the past, we've waived the reading of every resolution before it's read, and we do have a mechanism in place, if you so choose to waive the reading, that if someone were to wish to have it read, we would read it. But this automatically waives it unless someone asks us to read it. So moved.
Motion offered by Peters
Second.
and second by Hassick to adopt resolution 2018-01. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? Roll call, Libby.
Hawkins.
Yes.
Hassick.
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Zarling.
Yes.
Cyphers.
Yes.
Resolution passed. 15.2, 2018 official designations, and Mike.
Again, city charter requires that we make some official designations at the beginning of each year. It would be for the council member at large, it would be the mayor pro tem. Our newspaper would be the Sentinel. The secretary of the council would be the city clerk, Patty Munson, and the depository for city funds would be Bank Midwest.
Is there a motion, please, to approve Resolution 2018-02, adopting the official designations of the city of Fairmont?
So moved.
Motion offered by Zarling and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? Roll call, Libby.
Hassick,
Yes.
Peters.
Yes.
Zarling,
Yes.
Cyphers,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
Resolution passed. 15.3, elected officials out-of-state travel policy, and Paul.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Each year, we ask the council to review the out-of-state travel policy for the elected officials. I've attached that policy that is currently in place. There hasn't been any changes made to the policy. It's has worked well for us in the past, so we're just asking for approval of the out-of-state travel policy.
Okay,
I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
okay. Is there a motion, please, to adopt the elected officials out-of-state travel policy dated January 1st, 2018?
So moved.
Motion offered by Hawkins.
Second.
Second by Peters. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. 15.4, Fairmont firefighters officer election.
The firefighters voted on their officers on December 12th. They voted to have Brandon Scott be the chief, the assistant chief, Brian Casting, captain, Tom Hillpiper, first lieutenant, Mark Drever, second lieutenant, Colby Whitmore, and secretary, Matt Strite. Ask the council to approve those.
Is there a motion, please, to approve the officer election of the Fairmont Fire Department?
So moved.
Motion offered by
Second.
Hassick and second by Zarling. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. 15.5, call for a public hearing for softened water services rates. Mike.
The 2018 Water Department budget reflects a need to increase rates. The Public Utilities Commission is requesting or recommending a 3% increase. According to city charter, utility rates are established by ordinance. As a result, we need to set a public hearing for January 22nd to address that rate increase by ordinance.
Is there a motion, please, to schedule a public hearing for ordinance 2018-01 for January 22nd, 2018 at 5:30 PM here in the City Hall Council Chambers?
So moved.
Second.
Motion offered by Peters and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. 15.6, para police officer declaration, and Paul.
Yes, we have a couple of new officers, Dayton Asmus and Andrew Keister, that we need to get onto the police para plan. And because they're part-time officers, statutes require a resolution declaring that they are eligible for the police and fire plan. And we're asking for approval of this resolution.
Okay. Is there a motion, please, to approve Resolution 2018-03, declaring Dayton Asmus and Andrew Keister meet all the police and fire plan membership requirements?
So moved.
Motion offered by Zarling
Second.
and second by Cyphers. Is there any further discussion on this resolution? If not, roll call, Libby.
Peters,
Yes.
Zarling,
Yes.
Cyphers,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
Hassick.
Yes.
Resolution passed. 15.7, board and commission appointments. And Mike.
We're reappointing several folks tonight, and we're appointing 4 new people, and I'll just read who the 4 new people are. Monica Shrelgren, is being mayor's request to be appointed to the Park Board. Jordan Lampy and Tom Lytle would be new members to the Planning Commission. And Airport Board is Jeff Varbencourt. I practiced that 3 times and screwed it up. And then reappointments would be Dan Tesey to the Police Commission, Mary Jo Moltzen, and Brian Johnson to the Public Utilities Commission. Board of Zoning Appeals, Rich Wolf and Mark Westcott. Safety Council, Richard Schaefer. Economic Development Authority, Andy Knoll, and the Housing and Redevelopment Authority, Ron Kapishki. So thank you all for your willingness to be reappointed and those that are new for your willingness to serve.
Okay, thank you. Counselor-
Does anybody have any concerns about any of these people that we could pull out before I request a unanimous ballot be cast?
Oh, because normally we'd vote on them individually?
All
Right.
individually?
Well, not forever, but
Right. Or
it
vote them
it
in
is,
all at
it
one
has
time?
been the last few years, as I understand it.
Oh, that's
It
right.
seems
Oh, I
pointless.
see. You see all these motions.
Yep, all the motions.
So does anybody have any concerns about any of these before I make the motion to cast a unanimous ballot? Then we could pull that person out. Then I make a motion to cast unanimous ballot for all of these candidates.
Okay. Motion offered by Peters and second by Zarling. Did you get that, Libby?
I did.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried. And before we move on to the next one, I'd just like to give some recognition to the people that are coming off of, from serving. And I can tell you that all the people that are on this list wanted to continue to serve. They were disappointed that they had to be done because it has been a great experience for them. So I would just like to recognize Chris Pierce. He was 6 years, he was on the planning commission, and his term is up, so he needed to come off. Jennifer Trusinski, same thing, she's on the planning commission, and she was served for 6 years, and it was time for her to come off. Dennis Turner on the airport board, he was 8+ years of service on that board. And Mary Don Kislenberry, who was on the park board, and Mike and I did the math before we came down here, in 28 years she was on the park board. And so the difference that she has made in those 24 years to all the parks in our town, and the commitment that she had along with Dennis and along with Jennifer and along with Chris. A huge thank you to each of them for giving up their time to make our community the best place it can possibly be. So thank you. 16.1, accounts payable. Paul.
Because we only have one meeting in December, we always approve the invoices, December invoices in January. So we're just asking to approve the bills for December.
Okay.
I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Is there a motion, please, to approve the payment of the bills, December 2017 bills?
So moved.
Second?
Motion offered by Cyphers and second by Hawkins. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Number 17, then, does any council people, staff, have anything that well, let's do council people first this time.
I just want to say thank you for the Joe Schmidt proclamation, to have Joe Schmidt Day here last Wednesday. It was a real successful day. He came down and he spoke to all of the students in Martin County, and then parents and adults at the school on Wednesday evening. It was a real good turnout out to the high school, and thank the council for that.
Thank you. Anyone else? I'd just like to give a shout out to the Fairmont Fire Department and the work that they did in Northrop. They demonstrated courage and perseverance and made a bad situation the best that it could be. And their commitment that they had, it was just a marvelous way of showing us what they're all about. So thank you to the Fairmont Fire Department for all that they did.
And for everybody supporting them.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And everybody's supporting them. And the park department supplied sand, because if you can imagine all the ice that would have been out there. And I visited with Troy, because Mike was out of town at that time. And Troy said that their needs were being met by the staff, city staff, and by Troy as the leader during that day. And so, or that period of time. And thank you to everybody. And yeah, thanks.
I have one more thing. In this regard to snow removal, and this is, I'm sure that's an ongoing issue for certain citizens in this town. But my question is could it might be possible that we could get a committee together to talk about that and maybe get some input from from the city, and maybe show that, we are concerned and we are customer service related, and if there might be possible, and if so, relate what we do in regards to snow removal to the community.
That's coming, January.
Okay?
Yep. Okay. Anything else? If not, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
Motion offered by Zarling, second by Hawkins. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carried, and the meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, man.